Hello there, viewers. Before we get into today's episode, I'd like to let you know that Eastside Hockey Manager is currently on sale. Yes, until July 5th, Eastside Hockey Manager is currently 75% off through Steam. So if you go and get that right now, if you're an American, it's $4.99. If you're in Europe, it's €3.99. And if you're in Britain, it is £3.79. So it is a damn good deal at this point in time. I absolutely recommend it. Like I said, it's a hockey sim. It's developed by Sports Interactive, so you already know through Football Manager the interface and the stats around it. And if you're a big hockey buff like myself, you absolutely need to go and get it. So as a reminder, the 5th of July is the end of the Steam sale. It's a little less than 2 weeks from now, and as I said before, I highly recommend you go and get this game. What's up, peoples? It's Gendo here. Welcome back to Here Come the Hawks, and as always, if you are still enjoying the series, please do go and drop it a like, even though it's been a while since we actually came out with another episode. But a lot has happened since the last episode, and now, not just match-wise, we actually made a trade. So we were finally able to get rid of Artem Anisimov because he was weighing us down like a lead balloon. He wouldn't get a lot of goals, and the odd assist every now and then over half a season just was not good enough. A 6.23 average rating as well just wasn't going to cut it. So we traded him out to the Nashville Predators for a third-round pick and Anthony Bitetto. And you probably don't know who Anthony Bitetto is. He is a defenseman, and defense has been one of the main issues that I've had on this club for quite some time. And taking a look at him, he's 26 years old. He's taking far less salary than Artem Anisimov is. So already I have a big cap to play with for either the rest of the season or going into the off season for next season. Just taking a look at some of his stuff. 14 hitting and 14 checking. That's good stuff for a defenseman. Physically, I like to see that he's above a 12 in every single category. Could have been a little higher, especially our acceleration and speed, because as a defenseman, I want you to zoom back to your zone in the back check and not hang around the middle of the ice as much. But other than that, doesn't look too terribly bad. He can slot in second line. I believe I have him currently in my second line right now. So decent defenseman pickup for a player that's, and a forward at that, who wasn't scoring goals or giving us assists. I think this value is good for us. And since our last episode, as always, we play 8 games. We won 4, lost 2, and then lost 2 in overtime. If you remember, if you lose in overtime or a shootout, you still get a point, 2 points for a win. That's how the scoring system works in hockey. To end this season, though, it was a win in shootout versus the Arizona Coyotes, but a loss versus the Avalanche, and a very debilitating loss at that because, well, it looked like it was all us early. We scored 2 goals in the first period, and we looked like we were flying high, but momentum in hockey can take a turn for the worse very, very quickly. As you see right there, within the first 10 minutes of the second period, Avalanche coming right back. Yes, we score a goal, Marian Hossa helping us out right after that game-tying goal for Avalanche, but then after that, it was pretty much all Colorado, and we couldn't do anything about that, coming away with a 4-3 loss. That ended out the year. Going into 2017, we took on the Penguins twice in a row, and both times we lost in a shootout. 6-5 in the first leg, 3-2 in the second leg. So essentially it was like losing one game and winning the other based off of points, tallies, and whatnot. But sitting around that, we beat Ottawa by the score of 5-0. We beat Buffalo by the score of 4-3. Once again, this was another back-and-forth affair because Buffalo getting themselves out in front early, and in fact, playing us really, really tough throughout the entirety of the match, but with about 2 minutes left to go in the game, Patrick Kane coming away with the game-winning goal to see us with the win. Outside of that, though, we faced the Avalanche once again, 4-3 the victors that time, and then against Nashville. I do got to say this. Nashville, this was the first game after we traded Artem Anisimov to Nashville. They beat us by the score of 3-2, and wouldn't you f***ing know it, Artem Anisimov was the difference maker in this game. He had to be the guy that not only got the goal, but the game-winning goal at that for Nashville. Absolutely unbelievable that was. So that's where we're sitting right now. As far as standings go, we're still sitting in 4th place in the conference. And as far as overall standings, I think we're still top 8. If we take a look at just points only, we're 7th place overall. We got 57 points through 45 matches. Still a long way to go in the season. It's an 82-match season, 82-game season. So there's still a lot of time to make up ground and get within at least the top 3 of the overall standings. So I didn't really address this at the top of the episode, but the two teams that we're going to be facing today are a pair of Canadian teams. In fact, the Montreal Canadiens are going to be the first team in this episode, and then the Toronto Maple Leafs right after that. And this is the lineup that we're going to be using versus Montreal. We're not going to have Hjalmarsson or Rasmussen because of injuries they picked up in training. Foot contusion is going to keep Hjalmarsson out for 10 days, and Rasmussen with a neck strain also out for 10 days. So both of them are injured scratches. Michael Roosevelt, because I don't really rate him as a defenseman, he's a healthy scratch. And then taking a look at the tactics, this is why I brought in Boteto. Just in case some of my defensemen go down, he can slot right in easily. And in fact, he's going to be on the third line alongside with Villapoka. Campbell and Van Riemsdyk stay in the second line. Keith and Seabrook, first and fourth. That has not changed. But what has changed, obviously, are how my forwards look because Artem Anisimov has been traded out. In fact, I brought up Vincent Hinostroza from my minor league affiliate to fill in that center role now that Anisimov is gone. And I brought him up beforehand. He played 12 games on this first team roster. He's got himself a couple of goals and a decent average rating, but he needs to find the form now that he's back up with the Hawks. So he's going to be sitting on the third line with Schmaltz and Tutu, Desjardins, Hartman, and Mott will be the fourth line. No real change for the first and second lines, except maybe Kane and Hossa have swapped lines, but other than that, everything else has remained the same. And let's get into the match. And we're also going to be the away team in this match, and hopefully that fitness issues for traveling doesn't really affect us all that much. But then again, Montreal's a pretty good team to begin with, so we're going to have troubles anyway. And the Canadiens have a player by the name of Carey Price in net, and he is an extremely good goalkeeper. He's got 19 stats. He's got a 19 stat in both his blocker and his glove, so he knows how to play in front of net, and he knows how to kill any sort of shot that is taken on nets. And as I say that, with about a minute left to go in this game, the puck is going through for Montreal, and they get a goal very early, 1-0 right before the end of the first period. I mean, we could have held. I'm sure we could have held, but defensively we just was not there. And just taking a look at some of the shots from our shot chart, we're going after center mass, and that's not good. But like I said, Carey Price is a decent, if not great, goalkeeper in front of net for Montreal. So he's going to be stopping most everything that comes his way. Shots on goal, relatively even. We've had 11, they've had 10. Of course, they just had the goal. Other than that, I don't really know if I can change up much of anything looking at my tactics. I could set it to be more aggressive, but then I'd have to worry about what is going to happen as far as our back checking goes, because if our defense is pushing up and being aggressive, then we need to be just as aggressive coming back to prevent anything getting through our back line. So we'll be high on aggressive, high on the back checking. We're going to lower the gap control. I don't want to just start shooting willy-nilly. That's just going to be a little, what's the word I'm looking for? A little too much. So we're also going to lower the passing. We're going to actually lower the dumping of the puck, because I think that's what's killing us. I know the Chicago Blackhawks in real life are a heavy dump the puck team, but I feel that in Eastside Hockey Manager, you dump the puck too much, it's not going to work out for you. 4 minutes into the second period, nice little puck over the top. Jonathan Toews putting it away. There we go. He's finally getting back on track with his scoring. That's his first goal in like 3 matches at this point in time. We got a tie game going up, and in fact, we could see ourselves through with another goal if we can actually hold on to the puck. Lehkonen is into the penalty box for hooking. That is a 2-minute minor, and we're going to have a power play for the next 2 minutes unless we don't score a goal here. And as I say that, right off of the faceoff, Patrick Kane slapping it home. It's 2-1 to the Hawks. Let's go, boys. Maybe playing aggressive does in fact work, but at the same time, it could very well go against us. And right there and then, Montreal has just tied the match up. 2 minutes later, it's all set at 2. And I just realized I had Scott Darling in nets. Maybe Corey Crawford would have saved that. I don't know, but that was probably a mistake on my part. Well, the team definitely woke up in the second period, not going to lie about that. More of our shots going on center mass. We still have had more shots on goal. That is a big plus. If you pepper the net enough times, the goalkeeper is going to make a mistake, as you see here. Outside of that, it doesn't look like we really need to change much of anything. I think the movement up to being a more aggressive team has really put the pressure on Montreal to protect the nets, and that's what's going to start killing them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep on going with this and hopefully come away with a win, if not force this to overtime so we can at least get a point out of it. Third period is just flying by. Not a single highlight in the first 10 minutes. The first 12 minutes at that point, we finally get something going, and it is not in our favor. It's in fact going to be a face-off in front of our net. Canadians getting themselves a little bit of a break as well. We have somebody in the penalty box. Ryan Hartman, 2 minutes for hooking. Because now Montreal can definitely capitalize, and you can see right there, oh, what a shot. Good save from Darling there. They're still coming forward. Another good save from Darling. This power play, we just need to work on our penalty kill, boys. Kill off this penalty. They're still coming forward, still taking shots. We were going through a line change, and now we could potentially get ourselves through with a goal here. Oh, Shaw. Oh, that's right. Shaw's on the Canadians now. He's not on the Blackhawks. Brian Shaw, former Blackhawk, got traded to the Canadians last year, and just realized that he wasn't actually playing for us. But now we got a power play going forward. We can get this going with a minute left. Can we get that game-winning goal off of this power play? But the Canadians are doing very well to just dump the puck out of the zone. 10 seconds left to go, and it does not look like that we are going to score on this power play. But I believe into overtime, we are in fact going to hold on to that power play advantage for the next 41 seconds. So that being said, we're going to take a look at our tactics, and I'm actually going to drop the aggressiveness down, drop the back checking down. Tempo is high. 5-minute overtime period is just blowing by. 2 minutes left to go with absolutely no highlights up until now. 3-on-3 hockey. We got ourselves 2 forwards. Panic, Hartman, Campbell. Good save by Price there, and it's now a face-off in the attacking zone for the Blackhawks. 3-on-3 hockey is proving to be very effective for us right now, but can we get ourselves through with a goal? Gets it out to Duncan Keith in front of nets, but Carey Price right there with the save. The way this game is going right now, it could go into a shootout, but I've seen goals. In fact, scored a goal with 3 seconds left in the overtime period, so it very well could be a very late goal if we can get this done. 72 coming through to number 7. 72, which is Artemi Panarin. Face off with 2 seconds left. More than likely is going to be a shootout, and in fact it is. Kane, Taze, Panarin are going to be my 3 penalty takers. Outside of that, just let it fly. Don't really care. First penalty taker, Patrick Kane, takes the shot into the back of the net. 1-0 to the Hawks already. Come on, Scott Darling. Scott Darling cannot make that save, and this is why I probably should have subbed out Darling for Corey Crawford, because I believe Corey Crawford's a better penalty goalie. Yeah, because Scott Darling just gave it up. Artemi Panarin, can he keep the shootout alive? He does not. The Canadians win by a penalty shootout. Oh, man. Penalties are the ultimate buzzkill, because they can go your way. More often than not, they don't. So we lose to the Canadians, and it's actually a very, very quick turnaround time, because the very next day, we're going to be taking on Toronto. So for Toronto, we're not going to have any change up in the lineups, but for the tactics, there is going to be a change. We're going to drop our dumping the puck down to normal. Our puck pressure is also going to go down to normal. Back checking is going to be on hard, just so we can have our defensemen back in front of net at a faster rate than what we have been. We were a little relaxed. Gap control is also going to be dropped back down to normal. Everything else, pretty much the same. Offensive mentality, high tempo, creative passing. We're going to go with that. And into the match we go. We are going to be, once again, the away team. It's a Canadian trip, this time in Toronto. So let's go. Not even a minute in, puck coming through. Hossa, 57, and number 16, Marcus Kruger, getting himself an opening goal. Not even a minute into the game. Let's go, boys. Let's turn this fortune around. 7 minutes left to go in the period now, and the puck is just being forced into our area. And I can't believe that I keep forgetting to do this, but Scott Darling is still my goalkeeper. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I kept Scott Darling as my goalkeeper. Corey Crawford should have been my goalkeeper at the start of this game, and once again, I failed to do that. So we're making that change right now. Corey Crawford's in net. And now Toronto coming forward once again on an attack. Bozak puts Toronto in the lead just 3 minutes after that game-tying goal. And it doesn't even matter, I guess, who's in nets, because the defense just completely laid a goose egg on that. So the first period came and went by really, really quickly, and it looks like Toronto have themselves a power play going into the second period. Taking a look at the shots, we haven't really had a lot, but neither did Toronto. But they got themselves 2 goals out of it. 7 apiece on either side, and it just doesn't look like anything that is really something that we should be happy about. we can take a look at the goalkeeper, Jonas Enroth, and probably decide what we should probably be shooting for. He's got a weaker blocker side, but not all that much weaker. He's only got a 14 there, 16 gloves. So that being said, and also what does he play? He catches left, so he blocks with the right. So we should probably go into our tactics screen and tell the team to shoot towards that right side. Shot targets towards the, it would be stick side, not the glove side. Stick side. And maybe, just maybe, we can get ourselves through with some goals. So let's go back out there, second period, and see if there's any sort of change that we can see. And I don't know who's out there, but can we get ourselves through with a win in that face-off? No, Toronto wins it and are coming through really, really fast. Bozak with a second goal on the game. It's 3-0 to the Maple Leafs, and we are just going out without a whimper right now. So that being said, we're going to just throw everything up. Aggressiveness hard, puck pressure heavy. We just need to be a little bit more aggressive. 8 minutes left in the period, and Toronto tries to dump the puck out, but we keep it in, and Artemi Panarin right around the back of the net, swinging it underneath the goalkeeper's legs. We got away back into this match. It's now 3-2. 2 minutes left to go in the period, and we're pushing once again. Panarin pushing up forward, takes a shot, takes a second shot, takes a third shot, and Panarin, I was trying to come up with something witty there, but nothing was coming to me. I obviously am not a master of wit, but anyway, it is all tied up at 3 apiece going into the third period, and we got ourselves a power play going into the start of that third period. Let's take a look at the shot chart, and once again, it's all even. Toronto's at 18, we have had 17, even amount of goals, I should say. Toronto's had a lot more shots blocked, so we're making the goalkeeper work, and that is exactly what I want to see. I'm not going to change anything. Let's just keep it going for this third period and see if we can't get ourselves, once again, a point, if not a win. Once again, not much of anything going on in the third period, and for the third period, I put the highlights on extended. So if there's no highlights coming up on extended, then you know that it's a very, very boring period. And we're coming right down to it. 2 minutes left to go in this period. Like I said, highlights were on extended through the entirety of this period, as I have done for the last couple of episodes. So for there to be no stretch or no sign of goals or even a sign of an attack, that's really, really strange. But maybe we can get something here within the last minutes. Can there be a flurry for us to get them? Oh my God. I say that, and Villapoca has just gone into the penalty box for hooking. He is out for the next 2 minutes, and if this does go into overtime, first minute of overtime. So come on, boys, hold down strong, prevent any sort of goal. Oh, no, I knew it. As soon as I saw Crawford go to that one side. So we're going to pull the goalie for the last 50 seconds because, well, we need to get ourselves a goal at this point in time. More actions, pull the goalie for an extra attacker for these last 40 seconds. Can we actually get the goalie pulled? Because right now, Toronto are in the attacking zone. Can we get ourselves a 6th attacker so that we can have a chance to get ourselves a match-tying goal and force this into overtime now? 18 seconds left. It's almost looking very unlikely, but no, we have a chance. As long as there's time on the clock, we have a chance. But Toronto win the face-off and are looking to just fire it down ice, and that's pretty much game over there. Today has been an absolute garbage fest in terms of matches. Once again, it's been all bad. 1 point out of our 2 matches against 2 Canadian teams, 2 pretty decent Canadian teams on top of that. Toronto looked like they're fighting it out in the East to try and make that final Eastern Conference playoff spot. And Montreal, I believe, are top 3. So with that being said, guys, that's going to be the end of the episode. If you enjoyed it, please go and drop a like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And if you want to leave a comment below on the episode today or the series as a whole, please go and do so in the comment box below. I appreciate every comment that you put down. Also, as a reminder, Eastside Hockey Manager is on sale until the 5th of July. 75% off on Steam. I still recommend that you go and buy this game. So anyway, guys, this has been Gendo, and I'll see you next time. Take care, and peace out.